So you're gonna need a pencil and a ruler. All right, so here we are. So this is not to scale, so you can't just copy this because this is not really 11 inches. So it is a model. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with the fin, okay? And we're gonna use straight edges as much as possible. The edges that are on our folder were cut using a machine that is straight. So we're gonna use that. I'm decided to use a bigger folder this year compared to last year, so hopefully that helps us create. So I am going to start with the fin. I am going to use, let's see, if I open it up, okay, open it up. I am going to use the bottom because this is a straight edge, right? A machine cut it. So I'm going to use that. So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to kind of go towards the lower left hand. And I'm going to measure out 3 inches, okay? So the first measurement is 3 inches. You don't get to write on this paper, the white paper, because that's going to be a class set. That just tells you the measurements. If you fall behind, the measurements are there. So we're going to be using inches. So remember, the edge of your ruler is not 0. It's that very long line where it says inch. That's your 0. So we want to put that on the edge of our paper all the way to 3 inches. So I'm going to measure out 3 inches and draw a line. So I'm going to put my ruler there. Okay. See, it's not on the edge of the ruler. It's that little line, right? Trying to make it as straight as possible. So this is 3 inches. So I'm going to draw a line, straight line from the 3 inches going straight down. All right. So this is 3 inches. I'm going to label it. You don't have to label it. I'm labeling it just so if you fall behind, you kind of know what I just did. 3 inches. Okay. Straight line. Now, the next measurement is 1/2 inch. Do we see 1/2 inch there? So in our ruler, where do I see the 1/2 inch on my ruler for inches? Right in the middle. So this longer line, that's a 1/2. This longer line, that's a 1/2. So what I want to do is I want to put it at 0 and then all the way to here, to the middle, to the longer line. That's your 1/2. So I want to go up here where it's the top of my 3 inches, to the top of my 3 inches, put my ruler down and create a horizontal line that's 1/2. Okay, so that's 1/2 an inch. So if I put my ruler back so you can see, it's right where that longer line is. That's exactly where I need you to be. Right there. We're okay? All right. Next part's pretty tricky. So we're gonna measure out 3 inches going this way, 3 inches going this way. So I'm gonna put my ruler over here where the 3 inch line. So here's a 0. I'm gonna go to the 3 inch and put a little mark on there. Okay, so I measured out 3 inches. So here's my 3 inches. And put a little mark. If your neighbor's not doing this, make sure you're like, hey neighbor, like you need to do this with her. You know, gently shove them. So 0 to 3 inches there. Okay. Now, so this is 3 inches here. Okay, going this way. All right, now we're going to go up 1/2 inch. So wherever you left that mark, you need to measure out 1/2 inch. So where I have this little mark here, I'm going to go 1/2 inch going up. So I'm going to put the ruler to the 1/2 inch where that mark is. So 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to do a vertical line. This is 1/2 inch right here. So first I measure 3, and then I go up 1/2 inch. Transition to this. So 3, and then 1/2 inch going up. So far, so good? Now connect at the diagonal. So this half inch, connect them like so. Like that. That's your first fin. Basically. Give everyone like a minute to catch up. Check in with your neighbor. This is the easiest of everything we do. This is the easiest. So hopefully you don't mess up the easy one. This is the easiest one of all the shapes. Fix it. All right. We're actually going to do the same thing again. Exact same thing. Okay. Are you ready? All right. So we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to do it right next to it. So the exact same thing right here. Okay. Exact same thing right here. So we're going to start off with our 3-inch line. All right. 3-inch line. So 3 inches. You don't have to label. I'm telling you so you can catch up. So do another 3-inch line. And then another ½ inch, right? Is my voice carrying over? Do I need the microphone? We good? Okay. So from here, I'm going to do a ½ inch. So ½ inch is to the long line. Longer line. So ½ inch is like your pinky. So it should be like the length of your pinky-ish. ½ inch is like your, or my pinky. I don't know about your pinky. Maybe your pinky's smaller. All right. So ½ inch there. 3 inches up, ½ inch. You can double check your measurement. All right. Now at the bottom, what are we going to measure at the bottom? 3 inches. And put a little dot where you see the 3 inches. Put a little dot. Let me zoom it in. So at the bottom, I'm going to measure out 3. And then where I made my little dot, I'm going to go up ½ inch. So this is ½ inch going up. And then our last step is to connect these. And they should look exactly the same. Should. Any questions so far? We okay? No. Yes. All right. Now we're going to do, I think, the hardest one of this whole page, the scoop. This is the hardest one. I'm going to do the scoop. Honestly, I'm going to flip this paper all the way around. So now they're at the top. Now these are at the top. So I'm going to do the scoop now using this line right here. Yeah, so here. So like right here. I want to make the scoop right here. All right. Woo! All right. Okay. So here's half a folder, right? I'm going to start it a little bit not right in the middle, because if I mess up, I can do it like on the left side or the right side. I'm going to start kind of a little bit off the center line, like right here, somewhere over here. All right. Maybe like an inch away from the center, an inch away-ish. All right. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with 3 inches going up, but I'm not going to create a line. I'm going to create a dotted line. Yes, there's a difference. All right. So here's the center, a little bit over 3 inches. Okay, there's my 3 inch, right? So I'm not going to draw a line. I'm going to do a dotted line. I'm creating this dotted line right here. See this dotted line? Dash line? I'm going to create that. So it has to be 3. So I have it marked off at 3. I'm going to go dash, 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 all the way straight down. Make sure that your dash starts at the 0 or the 3, so I know where the top is. So I'm going to move my ruler so you can see. So just dash for 3 inches. So this is 3 inches, dash going down. If you made it a solid line, go back and erase it. Erase, 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 so it becomes dotted. If you create a solid line, just go back and kind of erase some of it, and it'll be... All right. From the top, we're going to go across 3 inches. So we're going to go this way, 3 inches with a solid line. So going this way, 3 inches with a solid line. And make sure that your ruler is straight. If you have it like leaning, it will mess up your measurements. So make sure, to the best of your ability, it's a nice straight 3-inch line, perfectly horizontal. Draw it in. It's a solid line. Okay. So 3 inches dotted, 3 inches across. Help your neighbor. Check in with your neighbor. Shove your neighbor if they're not doing anything. Gently, gently. Darn. All right. Now, this line, I'm going to make it dotted going straight down. This should be 3 inches. If you measured, if your lines are straight, this should be exactly 3 inches. If it's not, that means that this line wasn't horizontal or this line wasn't perfectly vertical. So dash, 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 dash. Fix it, fix it. Common denominators. All right. Ready? Okay. We haven't even done the hard part. What's next is where I lose most of you. No. Yes. All right. Now, we just did this part right here, the inside of the scoop, right? We just did the inside of the scoop. Now we have to do this part that are kind of diagonal lines. They're not straight vertical lines. They are at a diagonal because the top part measures 1/8 and the bottom part measures 3/8. And there's a difference between a 1/8 and a 3/8, okay? First off, if the bottom part is 3/8, but our ruler is out of 16, how many little lines is that? So 6, right? Because from here to here, it's times 2. So from here to here is times 2. So that means I need to count 6 little lines. I need to count 6 little lines. So from the bottom, on both sides, I'm going to put my ruler on the dotted line. Put my 0 on the dotted line. Put my 0 on the dotted line. This is where we can make a mistake. So we want to make sure we're paying attention and we're going not too fast. All right. So I have my dotted line. I'm on the right side. I have my dotted line right there. My 0 is on the dotted line. I'm going to count 6 little lines after the 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When I count the 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm going to put a little tiny mark on my paper. Okay, so make sure it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put a little dot right there. Now you're going to do the same thing on the other side of the dotted line. So you can you can flip your ruler over if you want and measure out the 0 on the dotted line and then count 6 upside down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then put a little dot. So you can either go backwards, like flip it around, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and put a little mark. You okay? So this is what your paper should look like right now. You have your scoop, and right next to your dotted lines are these 2 little marks. Can you just put them randomly? Nope, it has to be exactly 3/8. All right, now let's do some more math. The top is exactly 1/8. Well, 1/8 is what out of 16? 2/16. So that means I'm going to count 2 little tiny lines, and that's going to be super small. So now you're going to go to the top and put the 0 and count 2 little tiny lines. So I'm going to put the ruler on the right-hand side where my dotted line is, and I'm going to count 2 little tiny lines. It's nothing. 1/8 or 2/16 is just 2 little lines. It barely is anything. Okay, now, do you have that little dot? Let's connect it to the 3-inch line. Let's connect it to the 3-inch line. Let's connect it to the 3-inch line. So extend your 3-inch line. Okay, and now we're going to stay on the same side. Where your line ends on the right-hand side, where your line ends, you're going to connect it to the bottom on a diagonal. It shouldn't be straight down. It should be at a diagonal. The top is skinnier than the bottom. The top should be skinnier than the bottom. If you did it right. Oh, yeah, I could totally tell. Oh, yeah. With my magnifying glasses that I can see from afar. What do you call those things that binoculars? Binoculars. My binocular teaching. All right, we're good. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. So this is 2/16 right there. This little tiny piece right there. We're gonna do the same thing over here. 2/16. Okay. You can flip your ruler over if you want. Give yourself enough room on your table. Okay. I have the 0 upside down ruler. The 0 there. And then count 1, 2. And put a little dot. 1, 2. 1, 2. And then you can extend your line. Right? You can extend your line. Just like that. And then connect it. Just like so. Those look kind of slanted. Achilles, do you know if Ezekiel contacted Eduardo or not? Okay. All right. Are we good? Are we there, gentlemen? Yes? Whew, all right. I think this is the hardest one. This is the hardest one. You're done. Now, if you mess this up, do it again somewhere else. You have a lot of space over here that you can redo it. I would probably do it like somewhere here in the middle. It might not fit. All right. Whew. Now, I'm going to need to now do the body. The body in general is 11 inches by 4. It's the big rectangle that you see on mine. It's a big rectangle. So it's going to use up a lot of your space, right? So I'm going to use the other side. I'm going to use the other side. Now, do you have on your other side one that's completely like straight? Now, is it 11 inches? Oh, mine's perfect. You see, so I have my writing over here. I'm going to go to the other side and not including the little tab. Like if I start after the tab, do I have 11 inches? I barely have 11 inches. I do have different folders. They have the tabs in different places. So you may not have a clear 11 inches. Do you have what is this? Nope. You have to go this way. You have to go this way. Does 11 inch fit right here? Yes. Awesome. If not, you're going to have to start higher. You want to clear 11 inches. Is that 11 inches? Okay, so then you can't use that piece. You're going to have to start. I'm going to start above. So everyone starts above. So my scoops are on top, right? This is the brand new piece, right? Everybody, this is brand new. Okay, I'm just going to measure out. I'm going to use this edge then. I think everyone has a clean edge. I'm going to, you know how it cuts off here and it cuts off with your tabs? So you want to make sure you're like above that, okay? Draw me a perfectly straight 11-inch line. A perfectly straight 11-inch line. Make sure you don't go through the tabs. Go above the tabs. You want to clear 11 inches. Okay? So I'm going to draw 11 inches. This line is 11 inches. I'm going to hold it up so you guys can see. I'm clearing the tabs here. It's a nice straight 11 inch on top. 11 inches. I'm using the edge. I'm going to have to go this way so it fits 11 inches because you don't want to have that crease in the middle. Huh? Oh, where? 11 inches. All right. Now we're going to make it go up 4 inches. 4 inches. 4 inches up. We're making a rectangle, 4 inches. Make sure the ruler is perfectly vertical. So 4 inches going up. All right. 4 inches going up. Now, what I'm not going to do is I'm not just going to draw the top rectangle part like that, like free-handed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and measure out 4 inches on this side and mark it just so that I have 2 points of reference. So over here, I'm going to mark off 4 inches. So this is 4 inches right there. So this is 4 inches. And this is 4 inches. So now I can connect them and hopefully they meet on a straight line. So mark it off here 4 inches so that when you make this horizontal line, it matches. You have a better chance of making a straight line. So I just made a rectangle that's 4 by 11. 4 by 11. Yeah, I mean, I didn't draw my fourth line because the fourth line would be just the edge, right? I did measure it to make sure it's 4 inches, but I didn't draw the line because it's just my edge. So we did a rectangle that's 4 by 11. Check in with your neighbor. Help your neighbor. Don't laugh at your neighbor. Be nice to your neighbor. I agree. True. We should send them all his stuff so he can do it. Your grade. So did you pay attention last time? More or less. All right. Ready for the next step? All right. Next part. We're gonna measure out from the bottom going up. We're gonna measure 1/2 inch and do a dotted line all the way across. So we're going to take our ruler, measure out 1/2 inch, which is the long line, right? So here's 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna do dotted lines going straight across. Watch what I'm doing, and then do it. You're creating dotted / dashes all the way across, 1/2 inch going up, 1/2 inch going up all the way across. Don't make it crooked. All these dashes look so crooked to me. All right. Dotted lines all the way across, 1/2 inch going up. All of these are going up by 1/2. Yes. On the bottom, it's 7 inches. And then on the top, it's like over 11. So that means that this line is not straight. Here. Right? So you can start like connect those green dots, and that would help you straight. And measure out 4. Is your 11 inch line crooked or is your dotted line crooked? We can fix it as long as it does measure out correctly. It's not the end of the world if it's crooked. That one. Just as long as these do measure 1/2 inch, we can fix it later. Tomorrow. All right. Now we are going to do the same thing on the top side going down. So now we're going to go down 1/2 inch and do dotted lines all the way across going down 1/2 inch. So same thing. Help your neighbor, be nice to your neighbor. If you want to draw a straight line and then erase it to make it dotted, I guess that works too. I guess I should have said, take out a pencil and an eraser. What's up? Yeah, I just chopped it off right now. What? Trying to see if I have any split ends. Yes. She needs to suffer through this.
lenguaje, Achilles, lenguaje.
Oh, I need a working number for your mom, stepmom, I tried calling it. Those numbers don't work. File. All right. Are we ready? No. Yeah. Okay. If you try copying the white paper, you see how it's totally off. This is not to scale. You know the dotted line you took all this time doing? 3 inches of it needs to be solid from this side. From the left. Oh my God. It's fine. So from here, this needs to be solid just 3 inches. So part of this has to be solid, just 3 inches. So measure out, connect the dots. If it lands on one of your dashes, make sure you erase it. You want to make sure that this is just 3 inches solid. Wow, that was totally not straight. And then measure out 3 inches at the bottom. Solid 3 inches at the bottom. So this line is 3 inches. So we basically did that and that. Now we're going to do this dotted line connecting those solid lines. So this dotted line right here. So I'm just going to put my ruler there, connect these two. Connect the 2 solid lines with a dotted line. Does anybody know the difference between a solid and a dotted line? Yes? No, one you will cut and one you will fold.
Oh, yeah, folded. The dotted, you fold. The solid, you cut.
Okay, stop it. Okay, we are recording, kids, so. All right, so everything's been recorded. The last 2 steps are the same step, 2 steps. We're gonna measure out 1/8 from each end. 1/8. If I remember correctly with the math, a 1/8 is equal to a 2/16, so 2 little lines. All right, so here it is. From the top of your rectangle, you're going to measure going down right here, 2/16 going down. Okay, it's very small. So from the top of your rectangle, you're going to measure out 2/16. So I'm going to zoom it in for you. Okay, 2/16. Okay. Uh, 1, 2. So at the top of my rectangle, I'm going to count 2 and put a little mark. 2/16, so 2 little lines. This is the number one mistake kids do. They do not do this step. So at the top of the rectangle, measure down 2/16 and put a little dot where the 2/16 is. All right. Now, from the end of your 3-inch solid line, you're going to connect it to your little mark using dashes. Right? It's dashes, right? Yeah. So from here to here, you're going to connect using dashed lines. Dash, 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 or dotted. Just like that. You should see a little there. Okay. It's at a diagonal. You need to stay with us, not behind us. Do it on the bottom going up. So 2/16 going up from the bottom of your rectangle. 2/16 going up from the bottom of your rectangle. So 2/16, mark it off. 2/16, mark it off. You can flip your ruler or you can work backwards from 2/16 to 0. That's what I did. And then we're going to dot it. And we're done. Yeah, that's it. So there it is. Now it's time to cut. But we're not going to do that today.